The latest of Illinois' series of newcomer first looks is none other than incoming freshman Brandon Lee, who I did not know is apparently from San Juan, Puerto Rico. I had no idea. So, okay, Brandon Lee, welcome. First look. Illinois did the same thing they did with Stojakovic with multiple other ads, Big Z. And I don't think they've done Mirkovic yet. I don't think he's been fully there, so we'll probably still get him and Petrovic at some point. But Keaton Wagler got one recently. This is three video slides of Brandon Lee at Illinois practice, along with just a welcome photo as well. And you can go through these three plays, just get a quick hitter sense of what Brandon Lee can potentially bring to this team. Video clip one was a tough take to his left. Looked like an and one finish, ended up on the ground and put it off the glass and in. Video number two, we have Brandon Lee, hustle play on the ground, picked up by his teammates, but diving for a loose ball. And then number three, corner three, splash from Brandon Lee in what looked like a shooting drill. Do you have any expectations at all for Brandon Lee, Dion? What do you know about him coming in? What are your expectations?
I mean, this is gonna make it seem like I didn't know about him. I also didn't know the Puerto Rico thing. And full transparency, I thought that's where they were practicing. So I thought they did I thought they did a team trip to Puerto Rico, and now is their way of announcing, "Look where we are." Um, yeah, I mean, he plays hard. I think that like the take with the left hand, you can see how hard he's playing. The dive for the loose ball, you can see how hard he's playing. He's sweating a lot more than a lot of the other players on the court. I do think Illinois needs a dog, and I think Brandon Lee, that's going to be his role, is like high energy, come in, the 50-50 balls he's going to win, shoot a high percentage from three, play hard-nosed defense, get a little gritty. Um, can I be honest with you? My biggest takeaway from this videos was not Brandon Lee, though. And I want to apologize to the Avicic brothers because I keep doing this to them. Boy, are they food on defense. I mean, every time Illinois does like a first look or look at us, here's scrimmage videos, that just completely pops off. Because that take to the left hand, I believe that was Big Z. I mean, at least try. At least try.
Yeah, so in that clip, we have first off, he blows by Zvonimir, and then as he's finishing over Keaton Kutcher, who, as far as I can tell, is the only actually, is that even his name? Do I have Keaton Kutcher wrong? I think I have that wrong. I'm confusing him with Keaton Wagler. God, what the heck is the big man's name? I'm looking this up. This is horrible that I'm getting this wrong. Uh
If
okay.
they could help us out with numbers like Purdue does, that
Jesus,
would.
Keaton Kutcher was on last year's team. He was a walk-on. That's Jason Jaxtis that I'm talking about. Jason Jaxtis, Jason Jaxtis. Gotta remember Jason Jaxtis. Jason Jaxtis is the only big man that has even contested a shot this summer in what Illinois has shared. Anytime there's a clip of anything, it's Big Z and Tomovicic turning their backs and like putting their hands up like this. Tomovicic is at half court for some reason watching this in a green uniform, though. Make sure no one goes near Big Tom. He's got to be protected here. Zvonimir just blown by immediately by Brandon Lee, who's essentially like, I don't know, a walk-on, non-rotation. He's a four-star recruit. I don't mean to diminish him, but he's not expected to be in the rotation. And then Jason Jackson is just the only guy on this team that provides any resistance at the rim right now, which is crazy. So, by the way, one of my takeaways is that Jackson looks good. I liked that contest. I don't think he fouled. I think he stayed vertical. So it was a nice finish from Brandon Lee. But yeah, I agree with your point. I'd like to see the Avicic brothers just look like they're trying once this summer.
And I have a problem with it for two reasons. Because one, do you know what team Big T's on in this scrimmage, by the way?
I at all times I think they just let Big T rock a green penny and just walk around on the court doing whatever he wants. So
Because like he easily could be on Brandon Lee's team, and I'm assuming for his sake, I hope that's what the situation was. There's also a possibility he should have been in the paint guarding that contest and just was at half court because he got sick of playing defense. And I have no idea which one is which, but I do feel like, and it's not just Illinois fans, right? But I think a lot of Big Ten fans have come at like us on this channel for our praise of Purdue because they asked, well, who's going to play defense for Purdue? Respectfully, who in the world is about to play defense for Illinois? And we're yet to see a video where they try on defense at all, by the way. So I think there are some, I really like this team. I like the makeup of it. in comparison to the previous Underwood teams of the last like year or two, minus TSJ, of course. But they have some question marks, and a lot of the question marks revolve around the two Avicic brothers, who it's just practice, and I get it. At least try, man. I mean, like what Big Z did in this clip is like you should have to run for stuff like that.
Yeah, Big Z is a great shot blocker. Big Z is also just a guy that spaces out constantly. That's why he's never been able to carve out a serious role. Big T did not space out constantly. Big T was just not a good defender last year. So I don't know what you do with that. It's going to be interesting because those guys got to play a lot, I think, on this team. And Brad Underwood needs to figure it out. Still don't have Petro, still don't have Merck there. I think hanging over everything we've seen from Illinois in these little small player by player clips is that their practices just don't feel like a full team. That's what happens when two key members of your top eight aren't there in August. And they missed all of summer ball. Petro was just announced. That's the downside of building a team this way. And I think Brad Underwood's realizing that, and they're doing the best they can. But the reality is, this team has not been full, and it's not going to feel full until those two guys get there. So that's probably part of what's hanging over this team. As far as Brandon Lee goes, that's what we're supposed to be talking about. Nothing in this clip. I mean, look, these are fine clips. I laughed a little bit that like he got the hustle play clip because I normally when you're trying to just pull three things from a week of practice and make a player look good, they're usually highlight type stuff. Not to say diving on the floor for a loose ball isn't a highlight. And it's probably indicative of how Brandon Lee's going to need to earn minutes on this team, right? If he can be the guard that gets in the mud and just is out there to hustle and give you 5 great minutes a game, almost like a freshman DGL type role, then I think he has a role on this team. But from all that I've heard, I mean, this kind of reflects some of the early practice impressions I feel like we've heard. We've heard that the Illinois staff and players are very impressed with Keaton Wagler. He's way ahead of schedule. He's just better than anyone knows, and he's going to play. Simultaneously, while we hear that about the other freshman guard, Keaton Wagler, we're hearing nothing on Brandon Lee. And I think that's where this is headed. He's probably the freshman that's just out of the rotation. Maybe in a best case scenario, you could even redshirt him this year and just focus on his development. But yeah, nothing I saw in these clips made me think Brandon Lee is going to be ready to contribute right away.
I agree. The only thing that made me feel that way is at least he had a hustle play. We're yet to see anybody else from Illinois do anything like that. And at the moment, like I completely agree with you talent wise, but makeup wise, I think you might need to play him because like who else is going to do it?
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think behind Petro and Boz, there are minutes available to split between Wagler and Lee and potentially Jake Davis. So, yeah, I think if he can carve out the role of being the defensive first, let's hustle guy, he'll probably play a little bit. If not, and I would argue what would be better for Illinois would be you don't need that. The other three start to give you that, and he can redshirt.
100%. The best thing for Illinois is the Avicic brothers like realize like you have to play 100% of the game and not 50%, and then everybody else on the team also falls in line.